Welcome back, where we're going to bore you with some more Americana. Sorry, it's what we own, therefore it's what we can drive without causing offence to anyone. Maybe. As always with these kind of videos that we do, I hope this is coming out okay, by the way. We've got a lot of wind here today, but as I say, as most of our videos like this kind of tend to come together through luck, really. And this, you would have seen in a video a little while ago, how not to paint your classic car. Link up there, as always. And I've had it on the road for a little bit this summer, and the freshly rebuilt gearbox decided to no longer work. So it's been away for 8 weeks, I think, having that sorted out again. And I picked it up last Thursday. And then over the weekend, one of the other YouTube channels we watch, Steph, on iDriver Classic, she was out in the States and featured early C10 pickups. So we thought, let's do something on our C10 pickup, because we can. And it was quite nice actually watching that. She was blown away with how nice and almost luxurious this utilitarian vehicle is, and how incredibly usable. And I couldn't agree more. It is a great piece of kit. It's a really useful bit of kit. And I have had, over many years now, the G series, which is the van. We've had day van versions, we've had panel van versions, and they're great. They're really great, and they drive really nice. Visibility is poor, especially in the panel van. And this has got great visibility. So I kind of knew what I was expecting hunting down one of these. And I definitely wanted the long bed. Now in the UK, the short bed is far more popular. It's customizable and it fits in a garage, but I want a long bed so I can chuck loads of crap in it. And it really is used. And if you look back at the video, we were talking about, this is by no means show truck. You can probably see today, it is covered in all kinds of grime and crud because it is used all the time. As soon as it went back on the road, it was loaded up. We had 4 one-ton sacks in the back full of garbage and debris from the garden where we've cut down hedges and so on and so forth. I've cleared out stuff for my mum. It's just a general skip to take stuff to the tip. Really useful for work, panels, things like that. And a great, easy driving truck. One of the comments on Steph's video was she couldn't believe how comfortable a bench seat could be. And a few of the people watching her channel commented, can't believe how comfortable that could be. And I'll overlay some interior footage over the top of this, but going back to the Cadillac video, when I was saying how wonderfully comfortable and luxurious all of that is, heated seats and so on and so forth, this is just an old-fashioned bench seat. It's a bit of foam and some cloth covering, but it is an unbelievably comfortable thing to drive. An incredibly user-friendly daily driver kind of truck. Really, yeah, it's just super usable. This is a C10, and Chevy ran the C10, C20 and C30. The big differences there being the C10 was kind of a lightweight truck. It's got a half-ton payload, 6-stud wheels and therefore brakes, wheels, wheel studs, hubs, etc. The C20 and the C30 were a 3/4 ton and 1 ton truck respectively, and they had big 8-lug hubs, which meant customization was a bit trickier. There's not much you can get in an 8-lug in custom wheels, things like that. And it was just generally a more heavy-duty truck. So this is the baby of the bunch. And I didn't buy it full-heartedly, but it was worse than I thought. I got excited because it was a long bed truck near where I live. And as I just said, the short beds are popular over here, the long beds not so. So they take a bit more finding. It had way more bodywork than I originally anticipated needing doing. The biggest headache though is not being, I can get by with mechanics, but it's not my thing. The big selling point for me was the engine was all done and built. However, the guy that owned it before me was going off down sort of the drag strip route, which is bizarre for one of these. And there's all kinds of talk about how well rebuilt this was. It was high performance engine. It was a 327 high performance engine. It wasn't. It drove great, no problems at all with that. It was driving really sweet. However, it was doing like 5 to the gallon. And it had on it MSD fully programmable ignition. It had a big Holley 750 double pumper race carb on it, which was literally 2 buckets. It was loads of fuel or no fuel. And breaking that down a little bit further, it also had what's called a single plane race inlet manifold on it. So bit by bit, I've had to go through and, I mean, it ran fine, but it was just not usable as a daily truck. You could smell the fuel driving down the road. So I've had to wind it back basically, and we've got a Edelbrock Performer intake manifold, Edelbrock 650 street carb on it, and some bog standard MSD electronic ignition. And so far, find some wood to touch, just a really good, strong, reliable daily driver truck. It's nice and easy to use, super reliable, super practical, and it beats any Ford Transit van. It's just a great usable truck. And we thought it would be good to just show you. Now it's done and back on the road this weekend following Steph's video as well. The big plus with this is a bed which is 8 foot long by 5.5 foot wide. It's just a really useful bit of space. It's a bit of a mess in here at the minute because we got the truck done. I have got a really nice tonneau cover for this, which looks really trick, but is also kind of pointless. It takes away the usability of the truck, because whilst it looks cool, I can't put anything in it without unpopping it all. There's crossbars I've got to then take off. The crossbar will go across the tailgate, which will restrict what I can get in and out. It's all a little bit of a faff, to be honest. So I've taken it off and just left it. We'll feature a video actually when we do this, because we've talked about the Cobra system from Novel before. We're going to use a Cobra bed liner in here, probably just in a black. We'll use a fine texture on the side and a heavy texture for the bottom, just to protect it and tidy it up, and keep its intended practicality. You know, it's never going to be a show truck. It's a workhorse. So we'll probably cut to that in an up and coming video. But we're not going to waffle on too much about this. We'll take it for a quick spin around the block and let you guys get on with your day. These things really were the heartbeat of America. They just built millions of them because they're available in so many different formats, where you can have the crew. I mean, we're just a single cab here. You could get the crew cab, which turned it straight away into a very spacious 6-seater. I mean, there's 3 of us could fit comfortably in here without any issues at all. And they came in camper versions, pickup versions, obviously short bed, long bed. They did the dually, so there was 4 wheels out the back for extra load capacity and towing capacity and weight, and just such a versatile truck. And they lasted in the K series and the C series for generations, all the way up to 95. Superbly versatile truck, and I'm probably boring you all with repeating the words, but so we've detuned this now. It's not quick. It gets a bit leery in the wet because there's no weight over the back, but just a smooth, easy cruising. 4-speed auto, 350 V8. We get about 20 to the gallon out of it, just pootling along like we are here. And so easy to use. It doesn't bounce and shake and rattle and bang. It's just comfortable, usable, utilitarian. It's not without its faults. I've spent quite a bit of time fettling this. I've got loads of issues, like the fuel gauge kind of works when it wants to work, which is really annoying. What's more annoying, and I come back again to the parts availability, is that the previous owner, or one of the many previous owners, has made all of the instruments a white face. Now I can get a brand new gauge for this, fuel gauge, from the States, for $58, but it's black faced. And if anyone out there can tell me where I can get white dial faces for a 1987 C10 or R10 Chevy pickup, please get in touch, because I've got to replace this. It's driving me nuts. The previous owner, again, we had a row of gauges down the bottom here for oil and coolant temperature and things like that. You know, racy gauges. I'm not interested in that. And they're right in the way. They're down by your foot here. So I've deleted those, and I now need to get the dash gauges working up top here. So it does have its quirks and its niggles still to fix, but you turn the key and it just goes. And we are coming into winter here, despite the summer sun above us. And I'm sitting here in a t-shirt roasting because the heater on this thing is out of this world. By the time I leave for work about 6 in the morning, and I'm a mile up the road and the screen's fully demisted, and I'm pretty toasty and comfortable. The parts availability thing, which I know I've covered in 2 previous videos on cars that we own, and I've forgotten each time a little bit of a caveat, I suppose. The parts are a doddle if you know what you are ordering. There's companies like Rock Auto that make it really easy to order parts for these and many other American vehicles, provided you know what it is you're looking for. And if you do, you can get the parts within 2 to 3 days, tops, normally. Where it gets a little bit more complicated is if you are unsure of what it is that you're ordering and what you need. In that circumstance, then you're taking it to a garage. They've got to understand what it is that they need, and then look at ordering the parts in for you. Or alternatively, if you're ordering your own parts and you contact a company in the UK, and there's several American car specialists within the UK, but obviously they can't afford to keep everything in stock. So you end up having to wait for them to get their next shipment in, which could be 6 to 12 weeks before the parts come in on their sort of regular shipping schedule. So if you know the parts that you are wanting to order and can do it yourself, it is so quick and easy. Try and sneak down here. Should stop bringing you good people through Respawn, really, shouldn't I? As I say, it's not a particularly quick, fast truck. There's no traction at the back anyway, as I said, but it bumbles along quite happily. And I'm not sure you'd want to really be giving it too much aggravation. It's an old beast after all. Having used this through the summer, one of my favourite features, beyond the immense load capacity, as we're at the traffic lights here, I'll show you, is the sliding rear window at the back. So on a hot summer's day with that open and the front windows open, you've got your own air conditioning. Talking of which, it does have factory air conditioning, or should have. Most of the parts are still on here for the air conditioning unit, but it has been deleted by one of the many previous owners. So we are very thankful for the opened side window at the back. But we'll probably call it time there. You know, it's not an in-depth, detailed review and analysis on one of these trucks. We just have one. Steph drove one out in the States at the weekend, and we thought it'd be cool to show you one here in the UK being used, sometimes abused, but always thoroughly enjoyed. So we'll put this out as a midweek video because I know it's of zero interest to a lot of people that follow the channel. But we'll be back with some more workshop stuff at the weekend. Sorry, that's not quite the end of this video, as I forgot to mention that we have a fairly rapidly growing little merchandise store now. So check it out. The link's in the description below, where there's a variety of workwear and car-related products with an ever-increasing number of designs. So if there's nothing you like,
check back soon and see what we've added.